Good afternoon everyone, I'm Chris Hutchings and this is the SEO Weekly Bulletin from Direct Traffic Media. The first story in the blog post this week is myblogguest.com. I'm sure you've all read about it and you may have even read the comments on Search Engine Land and all the other websites. In essence, Google have penalised the whole thing, the website, everyone associated with the website, anyone who's either posted just one link from one person, and there's uproar in the community. Anne Smarty, who runs myblogguest.com, has been seen commenting all over the web. Essentially, if you don't know, MyBlogGuest is a platform for people to share content. It's somewhere where if you haven't got much of a following, you can put your content on someone else's, build up some exposure, and vice versa. Now, like everything else in SEO, as soon as somebody sees a chink in Google's armour, they try and game the system. And this resulted in links being placed in blog posts and keyword-rich, intense anchor text. And obviously, people started to abuse it and manipulate rankings, which we all know is what Google hates. Now, Matt Cutts did tweet about this back in February, and some say it was a warning. We in the office actually discussed it at length and said that anyone who's using it should be getting that content off those websites pretty quick. Those who did are probably okay, and those who didn't, are finding themselves in a bit of trouble now. Further details are down below, and this is a big story in the community, and if you've got any comments, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. Next up is breadcrumbs. We've actually had quite a few clients contact us recently about incorporating breadcrumbs into their site. Is it worth it from an SEO perspective? So Matt Cutts' video this week is actually pretty good timing. He explores or explains how if you have an e-commerce site, for example, and a product fits into one or two different categories, how do you take advantage of the SEO benefits and the user experience navigational benefits of breadcrumbs? Now, I actually learned this as well. I'm not ashamed to admit I didn't know this. But you can actually have more than one set of breadcrumbs on your page. So if your products fall into certain different categories, you can cover them all there and get the SEO benefit and the navigational benefit all at the same time. Matt Cutts talks about this in his video below in a lot more detail, and I'll let you watch that. Next up, ladies and gents, is penalties. There are two types, manual and algorithmic. Manual, you will get an email from your Webmaster Tools account and you'll know for definite that your rankings have come down because of this. Algorithmic, on the other side, are a little bit tougher to recognise. Rankings move every day as the algorithm changes every day, and it's tough to know whether or not your rankings are dropping from an algorithmic penalty basis or just from your competitors having a better SEO strategy than you. As a result, it's very tough to understand or define why you've been penalised from an algorithmic sense. Matt Cutts, in his second video on this post, talks about how you can identify whether your site is victim of an algorithmic penalty or not. Have a look at it. If you've been losing rankings, have a look and see what you think. Okay, now we all know about networks, we all know about paying for links, we all know about dodgy link building tactics. It amazes me that people still do it. In this day and age, I don't know how many times you need to see a site penalised, how many times you need to see in the press about how Google are punishing sites for doing it, but beggars belief, people still do it. And the Google rampage has continued this week after we saw France, Germany, Spain, all penalised in the last month or so. The next one to come under scrutiny from Google is Greece. And as you see from the post below, Matt tweeted to everyone about the Greek penalty coming on all the network sites. Finally this week, if you are going to buy or sell links, make sure you don't try and contact your clients about it via social media. We saw Web Design Library, or someone who works for them, tweet T-Mobile asking them to make sure the payments are up to date on their link building scheme. Now obviously, as you can imagine, this isn't great, and in the online marketing community this tweet went viral. As of today, as I film this, we haven't seen any negative repercussions towards T-Mobile, but it's certainly worth keeping an eye on. And just use your brains, guys. I'm Chris Hutchings, this is DTM. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.